58-year-old Mark Adams Prieto was planning a mass shooting at a Bad Bunny concert in the hopes of inciting a race war before the election. That's what the DOJ is alleging in its new indictment. Also, to get very specific, the DOJ technically specified that Prieto had plans to target a rap concert at Atlanta State Farm Arena taking place May 14th to May 15th. And the details of all this, it's wild and frankly just kind of fucking terrifying. So this all started when a confidential source tipped off the FBI, telling the agency that they had spoken to Prieto more than 15 times over 3 years at various gun shows, right, where Prieto would trade firearms from his personal collection using only cash deals or trades to evade the ATF. And with that, over time, the source's conversations with Prieto became more political, let's say, with the source telling the FBI that Prieto began making suspicious and alarming comments, including advocating for a mass shooting, specifically targeting blacks, Jews, or Muslims, as well as saying that Prieto believes that martial law will be implemented shortly after the 2024 election and that a mass shooting should occur prior. And with all that, finally, at the end of last year, Prieto asked the source if they were ready to kill a bunch of people, which, indicated to the authorities that he was looking for help in carrying out an attack. And so what happened was that an FBI agent went undercover as an associate of the source to corroborate the source's claims. And on January 1st, Prieto allegedly asked them both to help him carry out a mass shooting targeting African Americans at a rap concert in Atlanta, with him also explaining his thinking for why to attack Atlanta, saying, "Why is Georgia such a fucked up state now? When I was a kid, that was one of the most conservative states in the country. Why is it not now? Because as the crime got worse in LA, St. Louis, and all these other cities, all the N-words moved out of those places and moved to Atlanta. That's why it isn't so great anymore, and they've been there for several years." And to really just drive the point home here, that choice to target a rap concert was because he believed that there would be a high concentration of black people, with him also saying that he planned to leave Confederate flags after the shooting to send a message that, quote, "We're going to fight back now, and every whitey will be the enemy across the whole country," and also saying things like KKK all the way, as well as stressing that the most important thing here was a high body count. So eventually, Prieto allegedly sold an AR-15 rifle to the undercover agent for $1,000 and instructed him to use it during the attack and to bring as many magazines as he could carry. And it was around that time that he also told the agent that the targeted event would be a rap concert at State Farm Arena on May 14th and May 15th, with Bad Bunny's concerts being the only ones that were happening in the area at that time. They were also saying it could be sometime in June or July, and at a later date, he actually suggested that the attack would need to be pushed back. But to be safe there, he ended up being arrested on May 14th before the concert. And so as it stands now, he has specifically been charged with firearms trafficking, transfer of a firearm for use in a hate crime, and possession of an unregistered firearm, which, with maximum charges could hand him at least a few decades in prison. So far, Prieto reportedly admitted to having those conversations as well as selling the gun to the undercover agent. But also, he said he didn't actually intend to go through with the attack, which I guess is the terroristic equivalent of, "It's just a prank, bro. I was just kidding. Why are you freaking out?" But of course, all of this has raised a spotlight on the fear of domestic terrorism. There, according to the National Institute of Justice, militant, nationalistic, white supremacist violent extremism has increased in the United States, with also now the number of far-right attacks continuing to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violent extremism.